Hello members of the 26th District, Senator Nathan Schlicher here to talk with you about what's going on in transportation and infrastructure this week. I know top two exciting things that we always love to talk about, but the reality is infrastructure and transportation is what gets us around the district, provides for jobs and so much more. So it's of critical importance to people. We released our transportation budget this past week out of the Senate in a bipartisan manner, and I'm excited to say that a lot of the things that matter to the 26th District are still included in there. First and foremost, ferries. You know, every year it seems we deal with people saying the only solution we have is less service to make us more efficient. Well, I'm sorry, but less service is not more efficient, it's just less service. So this year, with the help of my colleagues, I fought really hard to make sure that we preserve the ferry runs. And in the Senate budget, we do that. Not a single service reduction, which is amazing. Additionally, we make sure that we're retaining the best and the brightest and that we're restoring contracts that were cut during the recession, which is encouraging. And we're also working to make administrative efficiencies that are funding these other two issues. So overall, the ferries are doing great and they're making sure that we continue to protect this vital infrastructure piece that is part of our marine highway system. Also in our district, though, as we've talked a lot about this year, tolling is one of the biggest challenges we have in the South End. The reality is that we have a big problem with the debt service, and we worked hard to get a little bit of a reduction in the administrative overhead of 2%. When that bill ran into a partisan wall, I worked hard to make sure that we got it into the budget. And I'm excited to tell you that in the budget, we actually don't take 2% out of the admin on tolling on the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. We take 20% out of the overall tolling budget. And that's a big savings that affects all taxpayers in the state. So our little issue ended up spurring a big change in DOT. Additionally, though, we're working to make sure that we're set up to respond to sequestration and that we continue to position Naval Base Kitsap, one of our largest employers in the region, to be ready to survive any future rounds of BRAC cuts or other issues that may be done in response to the defense budget. What that means is that we have two projects in the governor's budget. One that helps work on the Missouri Gate to make sure that we've got safety in mind and are getting trucks off of our main highway. And that we're also working to improve the tunnel that gets so many workers into the base that's been a real congestion and safety issue. These will help make sure that the Naval Base Kitsap remains competitive and a vital national asset that is funded and supported by the community as we move forward in dealing with the effects of sequestration. So overall, when we talk about transportation in the state, one of the things that you're going to hear is that we need to look at solutions to other bigger problems like 167, long-term ferry funding, and other issues. And that's true. But the good news is the budget this year makes sure that we fund some of the vital improvements that are needed to just maintain what we have in the district. Ferries and tolling and the Naval Base Kitsap. All in, not a bad budget to start with, and I hope as we work it through the House and the governor will be able to keep these key pieces in place. Thanks as always for listening and look forward to hearing from you here in email or back in the district. Take care.